Wicked Fast Podcast with Lungboy and Timmy G.
Hey, this is Dale Jr.
Hey, this is Jeff Gordon.
Hey, this is Corey Borders. Hey, guys, it's Chase Elliott.
Hey, this is Joey Logano.
Hey, guys, this is Ross Chastain. You're listening to
Wicked Fast Podcast.
Come on, try a little more New England.
You're listening to the Wicked Fast Podcast.
Wicked Fast.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep. Hello, this is the Wicked Fast Podcast.
Now, is there anyone out there who wants to go fast? Anybody?
I want to go fast.
Drivers, start your engines!
Yeah!
All right.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
We are back.
Wicked Fast Podcast, episode 284, if you're keeping track at home. And this one is a special one because we are testing out this brand new studio, the Big Night Studio, right here at Big Night Live. Look at this. This is a real room.
It's a real room with real cameras.
This isn't like a virtual background here. This is like real wood.
And we're actually together.
And we're sitting in the same room, which has not happened
weird.
in like 3 years.
Yeah, I forgot what you looked like.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So Brian Bell here.
Timmy G over here. Thanks for tuning in. Another fun week in NASCAR chat.
That's right. And of course, you can find us on all the socials at WickedFastPDCST on the X, Twitter, and at Wicked Fast Podcast everywhere else. Please subscribe to the newest, the YouTube channel at Wicked Fast Podcast.
Yep.
We'll post all these videos, and you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and give us a follow. And of course, thanks to our friends at Big Night Media for the use of the studio and for all
and
the great
Hurley
podcasts.
for producing the show.
Hurley's
now
running things for us today. It's nice.
Just really good to be just in a professional setup. I mean, we were professionals, but this is
not that we're
this takes
not that
it
we're
to-
professionals in any way, but this is a nice room.
Yeah.
So we got a lot to talk about. The round of 8 is underway. I'll tell you how I am now in peak playoff fantasy form.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable.
Pretty embarrassing.
Try keeping up. Just try keeping up. But first driver, first race, and we got a playoff driver gets the win.
Yeah, Kyle Larson's moving on into the number 5 car, trying to win his second championship in 3 years. He'll be down in Phoenix in the final 4. Swept both stages.
Yep.
Led 133 laps. Christopher Bell almost caught him towards the end of the race, which, I thought was interesting. One of those classic, if there were 5 more laps, we would be talking about a Joe Gibbs car going into the championship versus Hendrick. But he's actually the only driver left in the field to win a championship at Phoenix. Because there's only 2 champions left, the other one being Martin Truex Jr.
Right.
And Martin Truex Jr. won his at Homestead in 2017, and will actually be at Homestead this weekend, which we'll also talk about very soon as well. But I think the big takeaway from the whole weekend is NASCAR royally messing up a penalty with your boy Ryan Blaney.
He's breathing a big sigh of relief, though.
Yeah, so for those of you that didn't catch it after the race, basically Ryan Blaney got disqualified because he had a left front shock not meeting the overall specific length that is outlined, because I know you know this, in rule book 14.11.3.5.
I thought it was that one.
Yeah, I figured
is
that
it
you
.4
did.
or .5?
Yeah,
yeah.
And so because of that, he instantly went to last place.
Yeah.
And
Not
which isn't a good look for him, because then he would be in a win to get in scenario.
Right.
For the last 2 races at Martinsville and Homestead before we go to the final round at Phoenix. But because of that, he finishes in 6th. Or, I'm sorry, because the next day, NASCAR said, well, the tool that we did to measure that specific shock, it wasn't up to standards.
That didn't meet standards.
How embarrassing is that? Right?
But, man, that's like... Because, as it is now, what is he? 17 points below the bubble. Mm-hmm. So, he's still...
If not, he would have been 56.
Yeah.
That's brutal for him and everyone at Penske and the 12 team. But because of that, now they're only 17 points out. Finished 6th, 39 points total. A good run.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that everyone else ran well and got some stage points. And because of that, he didn't really gain that much ground, even though he had a really, really good run at a track that we talked about last week that he kind of sucks at.
Yeah. But you also wonder, because, my boy Blaney, he's pretty laid back. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of just like, yeah, I'm in the championship 8, whatever. It's
I
cool.
wonder if this actually pissed him off or not.
Right?
This could be the first time ever we actually see Ryan Blaney with some
fire.
or emotions.
Yeah.
If anything.
I
But
don't know.
I feel like a lot of these guys are laid back.
Girlfriend.
And some of them are very upset. Like, he's not Kyle Busch. He's not Denny Hamlin.
Yeah.
But then you look at all these. He's definitely not Bubba. I mean, Bubba is a different brass of emotions, I feel like.
he gets
and
plenty of
then you have like Blaney and Chase Elliott that are like, yeah, we race cars.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
I'll figure it out.
Feel like
I'll
you just
figure it
went
out
home
one way or the other. If not, maybe he knows the
Big
NASCAR
bong
script
hit.
and he's, yeah. I bet
It's all
you Blaney
good.
smokes a little bit.
Oh, yeah. There's no way.
You think so? Okay.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so the other thing we have to talk about is obviously how the other final 8 did. So obviously Kyle Larson moves on. We just talked about Blaney finishing 6th. Christopher Bell won his 100th pole, I feel like, this playoff. He's won so many poles so far in the playoffs. He finished 2nd, scored 17 stage points, which is massive.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it all year. Stage points are going to be vital, especially the second year of this next-gen car. They got to try and figure it out, and a lot of teams have, and they realize, hey, Christopher Bell is now only 2 points out with 2 races to go because he qualified well, got 17 stage points, which was huge.
Yep.
Then you have William Byron, Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin. They all got stage points in both stages. It's just not one, right?
No. And Christopher Bell's one of the guys that I feel like peaked early in the season and then kind of had the playoff drop off.
Yep, and now he's kind of back.
Just like Tyler Reddick, because Tyler Reddick was burning things up in the regular season. Playoffs, he's been a little
he's been
iffy.
okay, but
a little iffy.
the fact that he's a top 10 finish, was able
Yep.
to get stage points in both rounds. And I think the other thing, shout out to Christopher Bell and Adam Stevens and that entire 20 team, they obviously got the 54 team to move over for pit strategy because the 54 team won the All-Star race, Bet's Pit Crew Challenge. But they realize that a lot of these tracks that they're at, track position is very important.
Yeah.
So if you qualify very well, that's going to help you get stage points,
Yep.
help
Hold
you
on
get
to
better
that.
finishes, and they've done an absolute great job with that. Martin Truex Jr. finally got a top 10 finish. Congratulations to him, but only got 6 stage points.
Yeah.
And then you have someone like Chris Buescher, who finished 11th. Good, strong run. They qualified
Another one
like
that was
shit.
like not great here.
Yeah, they qualified awful.
Yeah.
But he got 0 stage points, and because of that, he's very far back.
Yeah.
Which kind of stinks. But speaking of Tyler Reddick.
Okay. You saw this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't. I apologize to everyone who enjoys my paint scheme rants, but his paint scheme, the last 2 weekends, as a Jordan sneakerhead, God.
Are you offended as a sneakerhead?
No, they were okay. If you want to be upset about the paint schemes themselves, fine, but the thought process behind them is beautiful.
Yeah.
Because we were in the round of 8.
Yep.
And this last round was the Jordan 8 Retro sneaker.
Okay. So you're liking that part.
Don't tell me with a good time. Those are great. Now, in the Roval, he did the Jordan 5, what were they called? The Jordan 5 Grapes. Fine. I'm not a purple-colored sneaker guy, and I feel like you're not either.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. And then he had the J Balvin 3s at Bristol, which were sharp looking, but again, just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But it's great that the Jordan brand is trying to get their sneakers
Yeah.
and certain colorways onto their car to promote the product, to promote Michael Jordan, the fact that he's a NASCAR, and that could suck in maybe some other people. It'd be like
some sneakerheads.
Some sneakerheads.
Yeah.
Because you got to attract them in some way, shape, or form, because that's all that matters these days is getting viewership.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I like these. These are my
Yeah, those are
newest
sharp.
ones. I think a car looking
are
like
sharp.
that would look pretty good.
Yep, I like those.
Yeah.
But yeah, so shout out to Tyler Reddick for all that. But yeah, that was basically Vegas. You know, the restarts were good. Good turnout, though. I will have to say. That was a solid turnout for.
Wow, look at you.
No. I'm
Yep.
not complimenting the track. I'm complimenting the fans.
The fans for showing
Yeah.
up, even though it's such a crappy track.
And for those of you that are viewing in on the first time because you just love the new studio and now you respect us that we're in a studio.
Yeah, I mean, it makes
Brian
us much
and I
more
don't
credible.
like Las Vegas Motor Speedway because every September
Yep.
we would have 2 races every year at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, one in July and one in September, and they took the September race away.
stole
to put it
our
in Las
second
Vegas.
race.
So we hate it, but it was a good turnout. So I will give them that.
Yep.
I will.
Would we have gotten that many in New Hampshire?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we would.
All right, let's talk about fantasy and standings and all that. You got that pulled up on your iPad over there. So
All right, yeah.
here are the standings for the last 2 races of the round of 8. Remember, you win, you get into the championship 4, which is the final race of the season at Phoenix. Right now, Kyle Larson is one of the 4 drivers moving on. Then you have William Byron, who's +9, Denny Hamlin, and Martin Truex Jr., because Denny Hamlin did not have a great day in Las Vegas overall. Good day for him, but needs to probably do better in that situation. Him and Martin Truex Jr. are +2 above the cut.
Okay.
So that's pretty crazy.
It's pretty close.
William Byron
Yeah.
is a +9 from the cut with 2 races to go. They can easily make up for it without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
And then you have Christopher Bell, who's -2, Tyler Reddick, who's -16, Ryan Blaney, who's -17, and then Chris Buescher, who's -23.
Everybody's within a shot.
Everyone
right
has
there.
a chance, especially when you win to get in. But points-wise down, if we get 3 new winners in this round, so let's say William Byron wins the next round, and let's say Denny Hamlin wins in Martinsville.
Yep.
Everyone is within points of Martin
Hey, we got
Truex
fans
Jr.
taking pictures out
Hi, fans. How are you? This is weird. So the setup, for those of you that don't know, and we can't turn the cameras around, but it's like the Today Show.
Yeah, there's people entering TD Garden. North Station doors are right in front of us.
Yeah,
we're under the big stairway that goes in the
And that was the
grand
first
entrance.
time we got distracted.
That was the first time.
And we're
Because
what?
people were
We're
pulling
only
up,
10 minutes in, and we've already
pulling up, taking pictures.
Yeah.
Because they figure, look at these guys sitting in a big professional studio. They must be famous.
Yeah, hopefully they tag
you're
us.
right.
And we're not famous.
Anyway, so yeah. Welcome to our new Wicked Fast podcast listeners who just walked by taking pictures. So for fantasy, are you ready for fantasy? Or are we done?
Unfortunately, I am, because I didn't have a great week.
No. Dewey Riders Driving School took the Las Vegas race, 255 points.
Ugh.
Double chump, second. Ladies Night Race, third. Jackson Left Turns for Days, fourth. So that whole house is cheating once again.
Yep.
You were seventh. And wait, I got to scroll. I was 11th, next to last.
Who did you leave in the garage?
Well, that's a funny thing. Where's my roster? Because I had Joey Logano in the garage.
And Joey Logano ended up with what, 30 some odd points?
30 some, yeah. I had Alex Bowman in my lineup.
Well, Alex Bowman was a good choice for your lineup, and unfortunately,
I had him in the
towards
garage.
the end of stage 2, Alex Bowman got in a little bit of a wreck.
He did. And here's the trouble. You see, because, yes, I enjoy watching NASCAR, but I also have a life. And on Sundays, we have cheerleading. So for cheerleading this week, I had to drive to the Cape. So we had to drive to Sandwich for our 1 o'clock cheerleading game to cheer for our little football team. 4th and 5th graders playing football, and my little
Is it
girl
a good
Lila.
team?
No, not. They're having a tough season.
Have they won?
They've won a game.
Okay.
It took a little while, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. But I was driving to the Cape, so then driving home, right when the race is on, and as I get home, I get everybody in the house, I turn on the TV, I open up my phone. 10 seconds after stage 2 ended, and I'm like, oh. I got Bowman in the lineup, and he's only got 2 points. Well, gee, look at Joey Logano sitting there, and I'm too late. It just went to lock when I opened my phone up, and I'm like.
So how many points did you lose?
So my team name is Points in the Garage, and I believe I left 27 in the garage.
And where would that have put you overall? Probably in the top 5, or if not close.
I think it would have been like a not like 5 or 6 finish.
Okay.
So I'm in mid playoff form, right where I should be, leaving major points in the garage.
So are you out of contention to win this whole thing?
Well, let's see.
Because of this?
Let's see who is leading overall in the league right now. Left Turns for Days has the lead over the NASCAR guy in double jump. But let's go to the playoff standings.
That's what truly matters, because we've decided as a podcast that moving forward,
this is where it was
you
tough
have to
for
win
you. This is where it was a tough week for you because double jump is now leading the playoff standings, 14-37. Ladies Night Race is second, 14-19. You are right behind her.
I dropped to third, which
14,
really isn't
14,
ideal.
and then Dewey Rider is 13-97. So you're right there. Bubba Boucher right there too. Very good. So you're right there, but I am now like 100 points out. So So that's not great.
Oh, okay.
Not great, Bob.
Yeah, not ideal, but still doable.
Doable.
Do you have a lot of starts left from the big guys?
I got stars left for everybody.
Okay.
So we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, because that's when it's going to get interesting for these final
also,
3 races. How many starts left do you have for each driver, since you can only use each driver 5 times in the playoffs versus 10
and then we'll give you later on. We'll also give you the bonus races for this week.
Yes, very important.
Bonus picks are big. Give you an extra 40 points right there. So
all right. Well, let's talk about Homestead. Homestead for many moons was the championship 4 race. That was the final race of the season where we decide who the championship was. Now it moves to Phoenix, which I think is the better track to do it at.
Yep.
Short track, challenging, all that stuff. So this Sunday, 2:30 p.m. on NBC, the Forever 400 presented by Mobile One.
All right.
This is going to be a big tribute to Kevin Harvick, which is why this is episode 284. Right?
yes.
Right? Just
Forever. Are you going on a 4 theme?
Yeah, I'm going on a big 4 theme because this literally Mobile One, who's been a big sponsor for Stewart Haas Racing and Kevin Harvick, literally are dedicating this race to Kevin Harvick. It's actually called the Forever 400.
Forever.
The Forever
Are they
400.
gonna, like when you sign your your yearbook?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But one thing that that I'll mention is John Hunter Nemechek will be racing for Carson Hocevar.
Oh, I saw that.
In the number
I saw
42
Jimmy
car,
Johnson announce that,
which
on
is
the
interesting
Instagram.
because currently John Hunter Nemechek drives for Chevrolet and Legacy Motor Club John Hunter Nemechek drives for Toyota. Excuse me. And
Legacy's not Toyota
Legacy
yet.
is going to be Toyota next year, and it's currently a Chevy. So we obviously have to talk about Kevin Harvick and why this is going to be called the Forever 400. The first thing is, when he won the championship at Homestead back in 2014, he had the Budweiser paint scheme, and Budweiser is coming back and is going to be the paint scheme for this race.
I like that.
Which is super cool.
I'm always in for a good throwback.
And for those people who are like, whoa, he's a Busch Light guy. Well, breaking news, Anheuser-Busch
owns them all.
Owns all the beers in the world. So
every beer you drink is owned by Anheuser-Busch. So.
And Kevin's family and good family friends are going to be very involved in this race. So Mike Helton, one of the NASCAR officials who has become Kevin Harvick's very good friends, Rodney Childress, what is it, Childress or Childers? Childers.
Yeah.
And then Kevin's family all going to be involved. Mike Helton will be waving the green flag.
Nice.
On the flag stand. Childers and Kevin Harvick's family have been named the grand marshals of the race.
Okay.
His wife, 2 kids, very cool. And I don't know how close he is to Kevin, but Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide himself, Pitbull, because the race is in Miami, is going to be the pace car driver.
Oh, boy.
And Pitbull, since we're here, is actually going to be at TD Garden on Saturday night with Enrique Iglesias and Ricky Martin.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, Balamos.
Wow.
Or, wait.
There was a big show last night.
Oh, yes, there was a big Latin show last night. Dave Chappelle tonight and tomorrow night. So Pitbull will actually be next to this studio on Saturday, and then we'll be driving the pace car on Sunday.
Wow.
Down in Miami.
A busy guy.
Yeah, Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide himself.
That's right.
Which is ridiculous. So I just wanted to, because this is probably going to be one of the last times you really focus on Kevin Harvick, because you have the Martinsville race, and then obviously Phoenix. We're probably going to focus on the Championship 4, and unfortunately, he's not involved.
Which is too bad, because he owned Phoenix for so long.
He's very, very good. So Kevin Harvick career numbers. This will, when he finishes, he will end up with 825 career Cup starts. Unbelievable.
It's pretty good.
It's a lot of
A lot of races.
60 wins, 251 top 5s, 443 top 10s. He's earned, before they stopped doing the earnings, because I think the teams got more money,
Oh, yeah.
end of 2016, throughout his entire career, he has earned $113.6 million.
It's not bad.
Not too shabby, right?
Not too bad.
And I'm sure that's been a lot more over the last 7 years. He's done 349 Xfinity races with 186 wins. He's raced in the Truck Series 124 times with 14 wins. At Homestead, he has 1 win, 12 top 5s, and 19 top 10s. That means in 19 out of the 22 races here, he has finished in the top 10.
Maybe throw him in the lineup this week.
Which makes me realize Mobile probably made the right thing to try and sponsor this.
Yeah, right.
For Kevin Harvick. So,
You know the script always comes out that way.
Of course
those,
it does.
Those cars when it's like, oh, the Go Bowling 500 or whatever, and it's like, hey, the Go Bowling car is in the lead.
Yeah,
No kidding.
What are the chances?
Imagine that.
All right, so some track stats for the playoffs.
All right.
Because I feel like this is important. This is the 18th race at Homestead. Banner 18, hopefully. There have been 12 drivers who have won at this track, and there has been one driver who won the first 3 races at Homestead. It's not on my notes because I know you would look, but I've remembered. Who was the first driver to win at Homestead and then won the next 2 races? So he actually won the first 3 races at Homestead.
Ooh,
about,
boy.
I think it was, they do 1 race a year at Homestead, maybe 2. So about 2003, 2004-ish.
Boy, I don't know. Now I'm trying to...
Drove the number 16 car for a while. For Roush Racing.
Matt Kenseth?
Greg Biffle.
Greg Biffle. That's okay. The Biff.
Yeah, the Biff won the first 3 races here in a row at
Wow, the
Homestead.
Biff.
So the more you know.
Haven't heard his name in a while.
Since this is the 8th race of the playoffs,
Yep.
what are the chances that 4 times for the Forever 400,
4,
a playoff driver won the 8th race and won the championship in that season?
Ooh.
How's that for some spiraling research?
Wow, you really go
all right.
to the wormhole.
Jimmy Johnson won it twice. Tony Stewart and some guy named Kyle Larson.
Ooh, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Keep that in mind.
Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson.
Is he flipping the playoff switch?
Yeah, is he? Then you have Joey Logano, who won the championship last year, and he finished 18th, which is the worst a champion has ever finished in the 8th playoff race in a season.
That's why I kept him in my garage last
Yep,
week.
so there you go. And then the worst finish by an eventual champion is 38th by Jimmy Johnson in 2019. Pretty bad.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
So let's talk about fantasy, because fantasy is very important.
Yep.
Because we really focus on fantasy here, just like fantasy football, but we just do it with cars taking left-hand.
We try to help you because I am not good.
All right. So your last 4 race winners here, because we had to do 4. We had
It's, yeah.
Because if not, it's only
in the-
one next-gen race,
all in
and
the
we're not going to do
numbers.
that.
You're such a numbers weirdo.
Such a nerd.
Yep.
Such a nerd. And hopefully this podcast is 44 minutes and 44 No, I'm kidding. All right. So your last 4 races were won by Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, William Byron, and last year in this race, Kyle Larson.
All right. A couple
So-
of those guys are still right there.
Yep. So this race
good.
last year, your top 5 was Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain, AJ Allmendinger, who would have thought, Austin Dillon, and Brad Kay.
Huh.
Like, what happened to everyone? Only 2 playoff drivers from the playoffs last year finished in the top 10 in the race.
Okay.
That's weird, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't say that a lot.
No.
You couldn't say that last week in
No,
Las
they're
Vegas.
all right there.
Absolutely not. So this year, there would have been 3 drivers from the playoffs in the top 10, and that was Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., and Denny Hamlin.
Yep.
And then William Byron was 11th, Chris Buescher 13th, Christopher Bell 12th, Ryan Blaney 17th, and Tyler Reddick did get in a crash and finished 35th.
Okay.
Reminder of this race last year, Kyle Larson won both stages just like he did in Las Vegas. So
Wow.
that's where this gets a little spicy, because if Kyle Larson does that again, now you can only get 1 new winner to go into the championship 4, and the last 2 spots will all be based on points.
Yeah. Ooh.
So in some weird way, I kind of want Kyle Larson to win again.
Just to make the
Get a
the
new
chaos for those other.
That way you get a new winner, or if you get a non-playoff winner, that means 3 people are going to have to go in on points. And if everyone can stay in with how they are and with how crazy Martinsville is and how much the cars get destroyed and all that, especially now with the next-gen car, it's going to be fun. All right, so last 4 races.
Rooting for chaos.
Yeah, last 4 races. Just a reminder here that Kyle Larson has only raced in 3 out of the 4 because of his suspension for that 1 year.
Right.
All right. Most fantasy points: Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Chase Elliott, and Kyle Busch.
Okay.
4 drivers have 2 top 5 finishes, and that's Kevin Harvick,
Yep.
Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., and Tyler Reddick. Harvick would be great
Yeah.
to win, but Martin Truex Jr. and Tyler Reddick to get top 5 finishes, that would be ideal.
Yep.
Tyler Reddick is also another driver who's only raced here 3 times.
Okay.
So he's done 2 out of 3 in the top 5. Same with Kyle Larson. Very impressive. 5 drivers that have 3 top 10 finishes: Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., and Austin Dillon. Why does he keep
popping in there? That's so weird.
Like, we just don't talk about Austin Dillon anymore.
Unless
it's at a super
speedway. Throw him in.
I mean, he had a shot to win at Talladega and just didn't. Best average finish inside the top 10, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Austin Dillon again, and Kevin Harvick. And then Ryan Blaney, Chris Buescher, and William Byron, they have an average finish of 15th or less here.
Ooh, they're going to have to pick it up.
You're
going to have to be above average for them.
This is my favorite part of the show, where we play a guessing game.
All right. Here we go. The fantasy matchups for this week.
Okay.
And let's see.
Sorry, Hillary, if you can't hear me.
Yeah, all the playoff drivers are in it.
All right.
So
all the playoff drivers are in it again.
Yep. So it's the same 8.
I'm going to go. Give me Kyle Larson versus. See, now I'm going to have to remember next week.
Yeah.
Give me Kyle Larson versus William Byron.
Got it. Yep.
Okay, love that.
Yep.
Okay, let's do the teammate game. Is it Martin Truex Jr. versus Denny Hamlin?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that means Christopher Bell is the odd man out. But is it Christopher Bell versus Tyler Reddick?
Yes, it is.
No way. And then it's Buescher and Blaney.
You got it. Yep.
So it's Chevy, Toyota, Ford.
There you go.
That's 2 very good weeks in a row by the team at the NASCAR folks.
How are they? Yeah, how are they going to shake up the 8 next week? We'll see.
That's going to be very interesting.
So there you go. Do you have any odds? You want to pull up some odds? Because you can still download your WinBet app.
That's right. You can still download your WinBet app and use the code XPNWicked.
Yep.
And make some money.
Yeah. Put in your $20, you get your $100 worth of bets. And this is some good betting seasons. You got football every weekend. You got basketball getting ready to start up. So, if you haven't gotten in on it yet, download the WinBet app and have some fun. Responsibly, of course. You're a, whoever have a gambling
I am not
problem,
a responsible
call that
bettor
number.
sometimes. Unable to verify my location. Really, I am in the beautiful new Big Night Studios.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we have to talk about? Is that it?
Who you think's going to win? All right.
Oh, who do I think's going to win? I want
Pick
Kevin.
your winner.
I want Kevin Harvick to win.
Okay.
I mean, right? Doesn't everyone?
Yeah.
Before he retires?
You would think.
But I'm going to go with William Byron.
Kyle Larson.
You're so
back
unbelievable.
To back.
All right, so here are your race odds. Your race winner, Kyle Larson, plus 250, plus 500 is Tyler Reddick, plus 550 is Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin's plus 700, William Byron's plus 750. If you want to get a little crazy, since we've been mentioning Austin Dillon so much, he is at plus 25,000.
Wow.
That would be you place a $20 bet on Austin Dillon, and he pulls this thing out, you would win $5,000.
That might be worth it.
But as far as the Cup Series odds, Kyle Larson is now the favorite at plus 150. William Byron is plus 300.
Ooh. I mean, just last week we were saying it's William Byron.
So the other thing that I want to talk about before we end the podcast is I'm very interested to see what Toyota does to help other Toyotas get in the championship here. And here's why.
Oh.
Because there is a possibility that you could get 3 Toyotas in this championship. But the question is it going to be Bubba helping Tyler, or is it going to be Tyler and Bubba helping Christopher, Denny, and Martin Truex Jr.? Because that's got to be a conversation to have. Because if you can get Hendrick to only have 1 car in the championship 4 and no Fords, and it's 3 Toyotas, that's got to be a huge thing for Legacy Motor Club coming in next year, right?
Yep.
Plus, on top of that, it's got to be pretty good for sponsors.
You're thinking big picture brand.
And, well, the other thing is if 2311 wants a 3rd car.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, look what we did. We were right there, but we figured we'd be team players, and now we're going to be stronger than ever going into our 3rd season.
Wow. Keep an eye on Toyotas.
It's just interesting to think about.
All right.
Especially if Kyle Larson wins again. And when it comes down to Martinsville, is Bubba Wallace going to throw a little bump and run on someone, right, at Martinsville? Because that's kind of where it's allowed and people do get crazy.
Yeah.
So that's just something to think about moving forward is over these last two races. But at the same time, is Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman going to be helping William Byron and Kyle Larson? I think the teammate things could take form, because what is Chase Elliott going to do? Oh, no, Tyler Reddick's mad at me. Can't wait for next season, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be very interesting, because there really hasn't been any playoff beefs as of right now.
No,
right?
not really. But Martinsville cutoff race, that's where you're going to see them.
Is where it's going to happen. But if you're a non-playoff driver, what do you care?
Have at it.
But if you make your boss happy, like if Chase Elliott bumps Denny Hamlin out of the way, William Byron gets in on points.
Yeah.
Chase isn't going to care if Denny Hamlin's upset with him.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be pumped that Mr. H is happy with him, right?
Right, but then, Denny's going to say some harsh words on his podcast.
Good thing we're polite on our podcast.
We're very polite. And thank you, sir, for taking our picture. He's like, well, I'm walking by and there's microphones.
This has definitely been the most pictures we've ever had taken during our podcast.
I think you can safely say that.
So
you can definitely safely say that. So, yeah, thanks to, Big Night for letting us use this nice Big Night studio here. This
will be where we will be recording moving forward.
I'm going to take a picture of us, too.
Except for 1 week, because our incredible, talented producer, Hurley, is going to be on vacation.
All right.
But for the rest of the season, we will be here.
We will?
We will be.
Okay.
If you're available.
Well, we'll see.
If not, I'll be here recording on Zoom, and I'll put you right there.
Because I don't know if you know this or not, parking in this city is ridiculous.
We'll see if we can get you a parking.
But this is pretty good.
Yeah,
So this is a fun spot. The studio is beautiful. Hurley, appreciate all of his work, and it's been fun watching everybody walk into North Station here. We're basically right under the big stairs leading into the garden.
Yeah, and also, you can stop by, see other people recording. You can also go into our brand new, beautiful card vault, our third card vault store. Sports cards, Pokemon cards. They didn't have any NASCAR cards in, but next week they are going to have NASCAR cards, and we're going to rip a pack of cards.
All right,
in here, and hopefully we can get some good ones. I already talked to Tony.
Yeah,
who's great, and it'll be really fun. So.
Look at that. See, it's like we're professionals.
Yep.
Right here in this fine studio. So yeah, find us on the socials at Wicked Fast PDCST on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And then at Wicked Fast Podcast everywhere else, Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe on the YouTube channel so you get the latest videos as soon as we publish them. And, just give us a click a like, that'd be good. And, of course, you can just find us on any podcast platform that you wish to listen to, because we're right there. But, wouldn't you much rather see us in this great studio?
Yeah.
I know I would.
All right, well, thanks for listening. We'll be next week, Thursday, episode 285.
There we go. And, see you next week.
Don't forget to set your lineups early. Bye.
Bye.